What is up, you guys?
What up?
What's up? Welcome to the Nickatina Show at a new time at 3 o'clock Pacific time for a very limited edition, a very 6 o'clock Eastern. Yes, thank you. It says it right above us as well, right there. It says 6 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. But if you notice, on the next episode of the Nickatina Show, which will be happening on Friday, I switched that to Pacific time because that's where I live. And it applies. So as long as it applies to me, that's what I care about. So, guys, we have a great show today. We have a great guest. We have none other than Dave the Film Junkie, who will be joining us in just a few minutes. But first, let's go ahead and say what's up to the chat and what's up to my co-host, Mr. ACS Universe, Andy Sherfield.
What's good, man?
Did you hear about the casting already?
Yes.
Are you excited or are you let down?
About which one? Dr. Fate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fire. So it's good casting. My opinion, it's good casting. Yeah,
very good casting.
So, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about
all that a little bit later on as well. So we're talking about the Black Adam casting. We're going to talk about the Flash casting announcements. But first, like I said, let's check on the chat and say what's up to everybody who's here. We got Brian Masterman, who's 20 minutes early, saying "Let's go." Damn, we got Matija Jovic saying we had official numbers for Wonder Woman 84 2 days after release. Still nothing for ZSJL. Well, we have some numbers that we're going to go over today, and they're all good, and they're all very promising numbers at that. So I don't know what the hell WB is doing right now. We got Vero Jason in the chat saying, "Let's go!
Let's go!"
We got Ryan Rivera in the chat. Matija says, "It is Nick. Don't you feel bad for Affleck though? Every DC movie that he signed up for got messed up, and now it's happening to the Flash." I agree. Every movie that he's been a part of has been kind of fucked in some way or another, but hopefully this movie will rebound somehow, some way, and it won't be a shit show. I don't know. We'll see about that. We got Noel Morton saying, "Hey guys." We got Jesus Coronado is saying, "Yo, fire show." Also, Ann Saronoff sucks. Right on. I like that. Right to the point. That's how we do it. Anthony Beltray, what's going on, man? We got Naman in the chat. Hey, man, Nickatina West Side. That's right. We're talking about the Pacific time, and that's the time that matters. Okay. And Noel showing you a little love to Anthony as well. We got Neon Sci-Fi, and you got this. Mike G saying, "What's up, boys?" You got Master Blaster in the house saying, "Let's go!"
That's good.
So, guys, we're going to talk about all that good stuff that happened today, and a little bit more as well. And we're also going to get talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League with our good friend, Mr. Dave, the Film Junkie. So, guys, look at look, Jose's here too. Yo, and what's up, Rasha? We got Gavin Cooley as well. All right, guys. So let's welcome our guest of the day. He is none other than the host of Film Junkie Live and the Vodka Stream on Friday nights, which is, I'm sorry, but the Vodka Stream has become like the marquee. It's like the main event show every Friday night. And it's like, you have to watch it. It's just so good. He does a great job. And he does a great job on his Film Junkie Live's shows as well. Let us welcome Dave, the Film Junkie.
So getting you for copyright. Right now, just happening.
What it is I want to bring you in like we're in the WWE. You know, all of a sudden like, your music comes on, you're like, ah!
Yeah, we just got sniped off YouTube right now.
He's like, I just reported you for that. Sorry.
Damn. Well, what's happening, guys?
What's up,
man? So, okay, so we are going to talk about the Flash and Black Adam in just a minute, but before we get to that, though, I really wanted to get your opinion on the movie that we've all been waiting for. The movie that we took 4 years almost to get, which is Zack Snyder's Justice League. And so the question I had for you real quick was, what were your initial thoughts when you finally got the chance to see Zack Snyder Justice League? Now, I know you've done videos before, but I just want to ask you, just, right here on the show, what was your initial thoughts of the movie when you first saw it?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, it's like, thought it could be better. I was like, God, really? That's what we waited for? No, of course I loved it. I mean, if you saw my first reaction, I mean, I got teared up. I mean, that guy. I even sent him a message. I'm like, you motherfucker! You made me cry like 5 or 6 times, which he smiled about, and I'm like, yeah, of course. But no, like my initial thoughts were. Well, first off, how well it flowed, how epic it was, all the scenes, and I immediately just wanted to watch it again. That was like my first thought was like, I'm watching this again today because, I got the screener for that Saturday. I had nothing else to do. And I'm like, all right, let me take like a little break, get some dinner. And then I'm watching this shit again because it was just, it just went down so smooth and loved it.
It was really, really good. I mean, the first time I saw it was on the virtual premieres. I had to wait like 6 hours for that Microsoft to update their system, which was like, what is happening right now? What sucks that a lot of fans were giving up on it. There was, you know what, it's not going to happen tonight. I'm going to bed. And some people had to go to bed because they had to work in the morning, so they didn't really have much of a choice. I, fortunately, was on vacation, and I was staying at a hotel. And for some reason, every room has like a 47-inch LCD, right? So I was like, oh, whatever, that'll work for now, whatever. For whatever reason, my room had a 65-inch Samsung LED TV. I don't know why.
Wow. It was written in the stars.
I know. I was like, wow, why is mine so much bigger? Anyway, but then I was able to hook up everything to the TV, and I was able to watch it. And it was the second time I watched it was even better because the first time I think I was so in shock over what I was seeing. And I literally, there was so many scenes where I was like, oh my God. Just that opening scene alone, when you see Batman and you see Wonder Woman in the same scene where Superman dies and you see Doomsday, just to see them again in live action, that blew me away. And I was like, a couple minutes in the movie, I was like, oh my God, there they are. Like, that's Batfleck. He's right there. Like, that's Batman. There he is. There's the real Batman. It was just so mesmerizing just to see them together again.
Yeah, and usually that's the way it is too when it comes to watching something the second time, because you already know, like, okay, now I know what to expect, and then you just kind of just enjoy. I don't know. There's something about that second viewing. It's always better with every movie, and even with this one, it was like, all right, I already know what to expect. I mean, obviously there was a lot that we already expected because we just, we knew a lot about this movie, but at the same time, just to see how it all played out. And then the second time you watch it, I mean, it's just such an easy watch.
It is. Yeah. And for a 4-hour movie, it feels like nothing. It just goes right by. Yeah. And Mike G wanted me to tell you, tell Davey I said hi.
What's up, Mike G?
What's up, Mike G? Buddy? And guys, a big shout out as well to the patrons of Nickatina Show, which are as follows right here, which is Everfett Nerdy Many Ways, ACS Universe, who's here right now. Hey, Mike G, Mel Siggy, Gavin Cooley, Gillis 15, Kinky Sphincter, DC Talk with Extended, Durwell McMillan, and that one Carlos. And if you want to become a member of the Nickatina Show, or I should say a patron of Nickatina Show, the link is in the description down below. But where the hell did it go? There it is. But so going back to
ACS, you got to pay to be here. Is that what's going on here? He's charging you to.
We're all members. Yeah. I'm also a patron of his show as well. So it goes both ways.
It cancels it cancels each other out.
Yeah. The money just moves in a circle. Yeah. But damn it, Dave. Yeah. No, but so But yeah, so seeing them on the screen together, I think was it was pretty mesmerizing, and it was pretty incredible just to see it all happen at once. And we've been waiting so long for this. I mean, the only thing that we would ever get to see is BVS, or if you can bear it, the other movie that was out there, which was it was so far. It's horrible. And what's interesting is that just recently I watched. I was watching Zack Snyder Justice League, and after the Atlantean scene where Steppenwolf captures the Mother Box, I decided for some odd, unknown reason, I said, you know what? I said, let me go check on So I went on YouTube.
That's against the law, man.
It is. It was heresy.
And once you've seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, you're not allowed to watch the other one.
I know. So
call the FBI.
So I went on YouTube and I found the Atlantean, scene that I was telling you about from Justice League.
Why did you say that name?
And it was, watching the two one after another, I was like, wow, they completely butchered this scene. They eliminated so many parts of that scene to the point where it was almost unrecognizable. I was like, wow, this is like.
Yeah, well, I know when we did our live watch, that was a struggle. Hated
it was a struggle.
It was such a struggle, but it was fun ripping into it with all the guys and pretty much getting shit faced because we're it's like, take a drink because of that, take a drink because of that. But there's no reason to even really acknowledge. I know people are going to compare it, and I've seen that, which is kind of cool. You have to do that. You have to do that comparison.
Yeah.
Like, somebody actually did a side by side comparison of the Wonder Woman scene. And it was funny because they would have to freeze the Justice version because it was like, okay, you have to freeze right here because there's so much more that was cut out.
Yeah,
and then it would link back up, and then you could see which ones they reshot and everything. And it's just, what's going on, guys?
We got Ill Life in here as well. What's going on, Ill? Ed N. They just pass the same dollar back and forth. That's what we do. We just keep stuffing it down our bras. Like, there we go. Your turn now. Don't be cheap, people. Don't be cheap. Okay, so it was interesting to see the two because I don't know why I haven't watched that movie for a while, surprisingly, and I was just like, you know what? Let me just see how bad it really was. Just that one scene, I was like, wow, that's enough for me to see that. I don't ever want to watch the movie ever again. No. In fact, I think like most of us, that movie doesn't really exist.
Not anymore.
It's just like
that one doesn't exist, man.
Yeah. See here. But the problem is that one to us does not exist. But to Warner Brothers, apparently, it fully exists. And it's like they've gone on record to say that it's canon. I don't understand what they're thinking with this.
Well, especially after this weekend, especially after seeing all the hype and, even though we don't have the numbers yet, which is a little odd, it is kind of funny that they're still considering that Frankenstein's monster of a movie. Yeah. They're still considering that canon. And it's just, even though there's similar story beats, there was no dark side. There was no what Flash did with his powers. My God, what they did to my boy, man. To have him like push the little truck and with the Russian family, and that's what he contributed. That's what he contributed.
That was an act of heroism. Yeah, that was
his act of heroism when he actually literally saved the fucking world.
Yes,
he saved the world.
Yes. And it was a beautiful scene.
Yeah. Oh, it was a fabulous scene. It just, and I don't know. I don't think that was a part of any of the additional photography. I think that he had already shot that scene. I'm not sure the scene where Flash is using the Speed Force to go back in time.
No, that was a principal photography. Okay. The only thing that Ezra did was the nightmare.
Yeah, the nightmare scene where he's
scene, and because you could tell too that I think what they actually did. He probably just got in front of a green screen with like his face, and then I think honestly, I think they CGI'd his face onto somebody else's body. It's probably very easy to do because he's completely covered. Only the mask was up. I think they kind of just placed his face right on there, and that's how quick it was.
That's all you see is the mask go up, and
he's just like, yo,
he kind of reacts and he crouches down, and then it goes down, and he doesn't say anything. So I think it was just something really quick that they got. They just needed some reaction, and that's it.
Well, and I think it's funny how there was somebody out there that sent you that tweeted out an image of Gal, and how they use the same image of her in a different scene.
Oh yeah,
and I loved your response. You were like, "Well, all I can say is that they're doing the VFX team is doing a great job."
Exactly.
It's not like he had time to go back and shoot and do reshoots. We have to
remember that he had pickups and reshoots scheduled. Like you do, that's always going to be the case. He never got those, so they weren't going to use any footage. We heard Zack
definitively
that said he would not use a single frame from anything that was reshot, or he'd burn the fucking movie in the peak. He'd blow it up.
Blow it up.
Yeah. So he didn't have, they didn't have time to do it. That's why, when it came to the Cavill stuff too, they repurposed for that, and it was, but it worked out fine because it was quick, and You know, the VFX artist did a really good job. I didn't notice it until this guy pointed it out, and and he said that was his only criticism. I'm like, really?
Like that was your criticism? That?
Yeah, like that fucking. But everything else was, you know, but that really just because, it was a weird little thing to point out. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, some people, I tell you.
But there's so many scenes that you see in this movie, and when you think back to how it played out in the theatrical cut, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
You know, the scene, the battle at Themyscira is completely different. The battle in Atlantis, the terrorist attack that one woman, takes those guys down, totally different. And people would say, oh, well, you know, he got 4 hours. So, yeah, of course, this film's going to be a little better. No, but it was more the context that the scenes were in. I mean, it spelled out a longer story. It spelled out a better story. And the characters were more fleshed out as well.
Yeah. And a lot of those scenes, too, are just like the music, you know, Junkee XL's music. You know, that adds to it. The color palette adds to it. I mean, it's just somebody, I think it was Krypton Cage, who actually took the Heroes trailer and compared it to actual footage from the Zack Snyder Justice League side by side, and it's just the color palette is so goddamn ugly. I mean, it's like everything is so like it looks like it's overly saturated. Everybody has like a pinkish hue to their.
Yes. Well, and what's even worse too is that when I was watching that scene in Atlantis, they tried to brighten everything up.
Yeah,
and it made the special effects look even worse.
I know, because
it was shot. It was done in a darker color tone, and they brightened everything up. It's like they just went to the screen and said, "Hey, just raise the contrast." Yeah. There we go. We got it. You know, and it just looks all blotchy and weird, and I don't know what they were thinking. Yeah, Jose, I agree, man. I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's such a good movie. Now, are there flaws in the movie? I think there's some here and there, but in no way do they even. It's like they're so far and few between that they don't even matter. Because there's just so much good in this movie. What's up, Jesse Allen? And it just, I mean, honestly, you know, for us, like we could literally go on for hours talking about this movie. It was that good. And to hear that you actually got teared up in that movie, I mean, that says something right there. I mean, we were so excited for this film to finally come out and to see it. I mean, Ray Fisher just blew it out of the water. He did an incredible job in that movie.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
fire.
The scene that still gets me, that makes me think, like, you know, how could they remove this scene? I mean, I understand now because they had fucked the story up so bad that they didn't have a choice. I guess, I don't know. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, but
don't.
Exactly, don't. But the scene where Silas. You know, spoiler alert, guys. Spoiler alert. We are going to talk about this movie. You haven't seen this movie yet, then
I think everybody's seen it.
Yeah, you've already seen it, but yeah, spoilers just in case you know you guys are wondering. Okay, so and moving on to our favorite scene in the movie. One of my favorite scenes of this whole movie, and there's so many of them, but one of them was the scene where Silas uses the laser and essentially ends up killing himself to mark the mother box. And that whole scene, the way it played out, I kept thinking, like, how could you have cut this out? Like, the way that Steppenwolf was coming through to get to him, it looked like the fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park was coming. You know what I mean? He was like, Aah! He's just like, okay, well, I can go out there and get an axe to my head, or I can stay in here and hope for the best. Like, whatever. I'm going to stay in here, you know? But Ray Fisher's performance in that scene, that's what really got me right there. That was a tough one.
Yeah. Same with like when they're in the car with his mom and he's starting to like well up. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Ray, you're hitting me.
It was so good.
Punching my heart in the balls, man.
Like the moment the moment he said when the Flash was, you know, when Barry said, you know, are you okay? And he was like, you know, I couldn't save him. You know, that's where it got me. I was like, oh damn. But that's how good it was. And I just it blows me away. Dave, what was your favorite scene of this movie? I know there's probably a lot of them, but what's the one scene that stands out the most?
Well, I think just the you know, the back and forth between Joker and Batman was just, I mean, just being a Batman fan, that was just, I would have to say that probably was, and but of course, I mean, also when Flash saved the day, when he's like about to just leap forward, and when the unity happens and the world ends, and he does that. I mean, it's hard because I'm also a big Flash fan too, but I think it's just. I don't know. There's just something, the subtleness of the dialogue and between, Leto's Joker and Batfleck. I mean, everything that they mentioned, how they mentioned Harley Quinn, they mentioned Robin in that whole thing. And then, of course, we get the F-bomb, which was awesome. I knew it. I was like, when we heard that there was going to be an F-bomb, I went, it's got to be towards Joker. There's no way.
Yeah, it has to
be. That was my thought, too.
That
was my thought. Yeah, that'd be Batman telling me fucking kill him. So,
and the way he said it too was perfect. He's like, and what did he say? And
she was like,
she told me when I killed you, and then
believe me, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah, believe me, I'm going to fucking kill you. I was like, it's badass, And but I think it's funny how people will take that scene and go, oh look, he's making Batman say the F word. It's kind of like, no, but it's in context though. I mean, look at all he's been through. I mean, they're living in a fucking nightmare. It's not like they're just hanging out by the pool and he said it like, whoa, chill out. No, I mean, they're living in a nightmare world where everyone's dead. Yeah. And so here's my question that I wanted to ask you, Dave. Where do you think they're going? Because he says, I think Joe Manganiello says, where are we holding up? He goes, a place he'll never expect or he'll never think of. But I don't know where they were going though.
I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know if it's a place that, what does he say again? A place that he would not know or not expect?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something. I think he says it's a place that they'd never expect, that he'd never expect.
Never expect. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Probably his place, I guess. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't expect him to be at.
Yeah, true.
That'd be the first place they check. We'll go check the Batcave.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about if they're referring to Superman, right? When they said a place he'd never expect, maybe it's Superman's place.
Yeah, maybe it's Lois. Yeah, him and Lois's apartment or something.
I know, right?
It's
still standing, the building. It's in mint condition.
Yeah.
But I mean, the nightmare scene. It was so powerful, and it was just there was so many layers going on there. But I think I know, in my opinion, at least, to me, the biggest jaw dropping scene where I literally, I was like. And my father-in-law was watching it with me. He fell asleep, and it woke him up. He was like, "What's happening?" I was like, "No, don't worry about it." I mean, at this point, it was getting late in the night, so he was getting tired.
Yeah.
But it was a scene where it showed. And guys, just so Katsuka can't give me any more shit in the chat, I'm gonna put this up real quick. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay, spoilers, you guys. Spoilers. Okay, is a scene where Batman is holding a practically incinerated Lois Lane.
Oh, you mean Superman? Yeah,
Superman. I did that last time too. I said Batman. Yeah, when Superman's holding Lois Lane. That was the one scene where I was like, because it was like he went there. Like Zack went there. He was like, dude, I'm putting that scene in there.
I said out loud too. I'm like, oh my god, he fucking did it. And then my next thought, I'm not going to hear the end of this from Garza. Shit.
You know what? That is true though. He was saying for a while, he's like, I think he put that scene in there.
Yeah,
and I remember thinking, I was like, I don't know how he's gonna fit that in there. I won't make any sense.
I was like, there's no way. I mean, they didn't reshoot anything with Cavill or Adams, but they were crafty with it. They used purpose footage from Man of Steel, and Amy Adams did need to be there. It just needed to show like,
we're like, can we borrow the dress you wore?
Yeah,
we're gonna burn it.
Dude, I mean, I thought like there would be like maybe a vision of something, but man, literally just holding the body right
still
there.
Smoking too.
Yeah, dark side.
Still smoking, smoldering. And and his hand comes on his shoulder. It was just like, oh my God.
Eyes were on fire, dude.
That was probably the most shocking thing.
Yeah.
When it came to,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, and what I found interesting too was that just recently Leslie Jones did a whole bunch of tweets where she watched the movie and on Monday we showed a bunch of those. I even got taken down for YouTube because of one of them because it was too long. So, but
you gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, I know, right? But what I thought was funny was that when she got to the nightmare scene, and when and I love this line too, when Joker was talking about Lois, saying, "Oh, how she suffered." I love how even she was like, "Oh, he's talking about Lois. That was Lois Lane. That's what that was. He was holding." You know what I mean? I was like, "Yes, she made the connection." Yes.
Yeah.
Because these days it seems like everyone just wants the movies like spelled out for them. You know, and I love how even she was able to pick up on that. And then my wife were watching and she was like, "Oh, so that was Lois Lane he was holding." I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah. That's what I figured anyway.
Did she say it just like that?
Yeah, she's very calm about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, oh my god, but Vic's vision of the future literally made my jaw drop. Yeah, no, it was, and then to see a dead Kilowog just laying there with like his stomach blown open, I was like, damn.
I didn't see it the first 3 times. I was too busy looking at Superman and the ripped Joker card. I totally fucking missed that. I was, oh wow. It's right there. Yeah, I know.
He's huge too. Like,
I was not even looking for it. I was kept on looking forward for some reason. Didn't think about pausing. Duh. Yeah. Do that here. Hello, you're at home. Jeez.
I was watching on my computer. I had my laptop hooked up to my TV with HDMI, and sometimes it was hard just to like, okay, should I get up and pause this now? Like, no, just forget it. I'll just watch it through. Because at the hotel, I was like sitting away from it. They had a couch and everything. It was great.
Right. What sucked was because I got the screener on that Saturday. What sucked is I had to pause it. I think I paused it at the 49-minute mark and record that fan premiere thing because it was pre-recorded when you saw that on Thursday or Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had to stop and do that for 2 hours. So literally, I'm just standing here.
Oh my god!
I'm like, she just went down and she's looking at the ruins. She's down there, and I'm like, oh, come on, let's go. And it was like
during your first viewing.
Yes, my first viewing.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it sucked because I get the message that it's going to be between 11 and like 1 o'clock, sometime between there, and then I'm getting the screener at 10. I'm like, I can't just have the screener and not put it on.
Yeah, just waiting.
It's just going to be calling out to me. So as soon as I got it, I fired it up. But I had to pause it for almost 2 hours just to.
I mean, did you get a notice like on your phone or something saying, "Hey, it's time to do the"?
Yeah, they like messaged me. It's it was from the Zack Snyder's Justice League main Twitter account was messaging. Yeah, and I'm like, damn it. Yeah.
This was Dave right here. As soon as he got that message,
No.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what it was. Like,
damn it. And then you're staring at it the whole time. You're like,
oh, yeah, it was on pause. It was on Diana's place like for like most of the time until it just like clicked out of it for a bit. And then I was just like, it was funny too because when we got started, they were kind of all talking to us and stuff, and they were like, "Has anybody seen it?" And I went, "I'm looking at it right now."
Oh,
right there at like the 49-minute mark. Damn it!
And then the screen goes like a screensaver. You're like, "Oh, I can't see it now. Damn it! Come on, we got to finish this up."
Pretty much, man. It was kind of brutal, but
you were the first one out. You're like, okay, guys, thanks a lot. I gotta go.
Like, what?
Oh shit!
Thankfully, man, I was like, yeah, get me out of this. Why did I agree to this?
This is now you saw 5 seconds into the future. Oh, he's not with somebody else. So yeah, I mean that's and looking back at the whole movie, I mean, I don't know if I can put one scene down and say that's my favorite scene, but one scene that I love a lot is when the Flash saves Iris West.
Yeah,
the score in that scene is just it's so incredible. It's just so strong.
Is that Song to the Siren? Was that playing?
Yeah, that's how.
Okay.
What's up, Matt? Anthony, what about you? What was your favorite scene?
It's hard.
Yeah,
I've answered this question several. I mean, it's hard, but like the scene where they're discussing resurrecting Superman, and then the theme comes on, and then Cyborg throws the hologram up. That shit almost done. Like tears in the eyes, legit. And I was just like, yo, because the first time when Diana talks to the little girl and she's like, "You okay, princess?" and that little back and forth goes. That was the first time, and I said it out loud. I said, "Damn it, Zack, is this how you're gonna do me?" Like, and then for the rest of the movie, there was just moments like that. But the Superman hologram, that sits pretty tight with me. That
was pretty big. And what's funny was that when I was watching it the second time, and that was the first time my wife had seen it. When we got to that scene where where she does a gauntlet and the terrorist is blown up, and you see the hat, floating in the air. Yeah. That's my wife. I was like, all this you're seeing right now after she did this was cut. She was, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then when we got to the scene where she's like, when she talks to the little girl, she was like, so you're saying all this was cut out? I was like, yeah.
Yep.
She's like, why would you cut that out? Like,
it just went like they even reshot. Like when she responds, she goes, "I'm a believer," and then. All right, cool.
Like they rewrote that, and they were like, "Got it, done. Let's go."
Well, I mean, what? I mean, what? It went from believe it to I'm a believer. Like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm a
and then she
believer.
booshes and
that's
doesn't
it.
kill anybody.
Yeah,
That's it. It didn't kill anybody. You're just like, oh, I just assumed that he must have got knocked out. Like, oh, you know? Really? She blew out the whole wall.
I didn't know she can dial it down and shit. I don't think she can. It's like there's one level to that, and it's
seriously. I know it's gonna say, "Hey, we're okay. I just blew out the side of the building, but everything's good."
The cops have, they have helmets on. They're fine. They're fine. No, it played out so much better, and I loved how they showed Wonder Woman, who Diana is, she inspires.
Both. She can do both.
And she inspires, courage and greatness out of anybody. And instead of showing that scene, they instead had to talk about it in theatrical cut. Like, oh yeah, you look for the best out of everybody. It's kind of like, well, we already saw that, but you didn't show it, so now you got to talk about it. It doesn't make any sense.
Real quick, Nightmare sequel. Who did Terrio write that, or is that?
I think what happened was Zack wrote it and ran it by Terrio.
Okay,
that's what happened. Like, he wrote the scene out, and because he's always been thinking about it, and then he kind of just was like, because him and Terrio were talking back and forth, all this stuff. I think he just kind of ran it by him. Maybe Terrio said, well, do it like this instead. I don't know, but I know that he was in contact with Terrio.
Because I know you just mentioned it, him and the Joker's dialogue, but I just got reminded the reach around line. That's so genius. And
my God, that was so good. Yeah. Was it really?
Oh, that's right. He did. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Snyder said that that the reach around was improv, and then Leto looked at him and said, "That's not going to make the movie, huh?" And Zack said, "You want to bet?"
What about?
I loved it. So
I loved it. It was right on cue. You know what I mean? It's like, who's gonna give you a reach around? It's just like, oh, he's still making a crude joke. You know what I mean?
He said, "Contraire, my little fish stick." That was so fucking smart. I was like, dude, that's There you go. Yeah, that sequence is brilliant.
It's brilliant. And I've heard that in the Justice Gray version that the We Live in a Society line is supposed to be in that movie.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if there's anything else he's going to sneak in too, because I think it's going to be the case, and I don't know this because I was told or anything, but I just know that, remember when the Hallelujah trailer came back and it was in black and white?
Yeah,
he added little tidbits here and there. Yeah. So, and I think he might just be like, hey, let's squeeze in a couple other things. Don't quote me, but I just have a feeling that he might squeeze in some things that we didn't see.
Well, do you think that if he does that, do you think that they would re-release the color version with those scenes?
Nah, probably not. Because it would just make it would make the Justice's Gray version like a little extra special,
It would, yeah. He called him Smelly Old Flounder.
Yeah.
But okay, so there's another character that I wanted to kind of bring up was Amber Hurd.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought, in terms of big surprises, out of a character, I actually thought she did really good, and I liked her accent in the Atlantean scenes, and of course, obviously in the Nightmare sequence. But I liked her portrayal of the character, and I liked her role in this movie compared to what we got in the theatrical cut. So to me, that was a big surprise. Obviously, the biggest surprise for me was Ray Fisher's performance. I knew it was going to be good, but I had no idea it was going to be that good. Yeah. It was off the charts.
Yeah, Warner Brothers, come on. When are you going to announce that he's back in the Flash movie? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If they were smart, because everybody's praising the shit out of them, and Warner Brothers is looking like idiots.
But why though? Why are they doing this for?
I don't know, man. I think I really don't know. They've always had they didn't want to even release the damn movie. It was HBO Max and AT&T that ended up going, hey, we got something here. This will work obviously on the streaming platform, and they're right. But it's just, just to have that article come out the Monday of. That was so planned.
It was so planned.
Yeah.
It's really sad the way that whole thing played out, and it was so unnecessary at that. It didn't solve anything. It didn't accomplish anything. All it did was accomplish at pissing off a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which I don't know. Why do you piss off your fans? If you're making a product for your customer base, for your consumers, we are the fans, and then you want to go and piss them off. I don't get that.
It's very odd. It almost seems like they don't even want HBO Max to be a success either. Because
no, it's almost like they want it to go away.
Yeah, I don't even understand it. It doesn't make sense. And the fact that I don't think they thought it was going to be this much of a hit, to be honest. And yeah. And now that it is, now it's like, hey, what are you guys going to do now? I mean, come on. She keeps talking about, and Sarnoff keeps on talking about multiverse, different kind of things. And not everybody's going to like that. Yeah, okay. So everybody's really liking this thing. This is like your biggest product right now. This is your hottest thing. And you're just going to put the kibosh on it. You know, you got this whole other Suicide Squad movie that has more Joker, which a lot of people were raving about Jared Leto's Joker now. They're like loving it. You're just going to pass up on that too. It's just
everything.
Yeah.
Now,
Anne.
So we were talking about what is this? Where we go? Jesse Allen says if Ann Sarnoff was a man, she'd be Dan Sarnoff.
Good one, Jesse.
Oh man, Jesse, I don't know what I would do without you, man. You are a producer of this show, and you're one of the best.
There with the dingers.
So, okay, so here is. Oh, go ahead, Anthony. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So here's something that I did want to show you guys. Something that at least gives you some insight into how it performed over the weekend. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so here is. I don't even know what real good, whatever.
Yeah.
But here it is right here. So this is the Falcon Winter Soldier and Zack Snyder's Justice League. And it says, which superhero movie won your state this weekend?
My state disappointed me super hard.
And damn,
I hadn't even watched
Georgia. They were like, "Oh yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier." You know, I did a watch party on that show, and you know, it was so boring.
Really?
I don't know. You know, I gotta watch it again.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it.
We literally talked over the whole episode, and we were like, "Oh man, we're not even engaged." The opening scene was cool, but that was about it.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, it was all right. I mean, like I'm in. I'll watch it. I thought, like I said, the opening scene was pretty fantastic. It was pretty insane action.
It was insane.
There's a couple of things where I was like, well, that doesn't make sense, but some goofy parts. But other than that, I'm
Marvel,
like,
though. I mean,
it's Marvel.
Yeah. They can kind of get away with that.
So that did come out today, then, right?
What?
Somebody said the BVS remaster sold out in 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It was yesterday, I think.
Yesterday. Did you get one, Dave?
Target. No, I didn't get one. But
it was all online, though. I don't think it was actually physically in the stores, was it?
No, it was all online.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at this point, it's going to be on HBO Max eventually. So
yeah, that's why I was kind of like, okay, I mean, let's just wait for it with that, because if you order it now on Amazon again, it's not going to show up for like 1 or 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. So here's this chart here where it shows everyone in blue. That was Zack Snyder's Justice League dominated that state. They won that state, and Falcon Winter Soldier won all the red states. I love how they use red and blue. Like, come on.
I know, it's like it's political.
And you can see Zack Snyder's Justice League was clearly dominating the country, and if it were running for president, it would be the president elect would be Zack Snyder's Justice League. So that was pretty cool. And then here's from Real Talk with Casey and Sean Mayer, and he said
the engagements.
Yeah, the engagements. And so you can see here's your peak engagement for Wonder Woman 84. Okay, it's pretty good. And here is, I guess this is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it's like, come on, really. It it's like, dude. And the fact that they would get a green light, or it would be greenlit. Well, here's the thing, though, is that they had so much time on their hands, they probably greenlit that a long time ago, but they didn't announce it until the movie came out.
Yeah, there was something weird about that. There's something weird about that. And then another thing, too, is you got to remember this as well. When it comes to, like, when we get the full numbers, that's just HBO Max right there. When it came to Wonder Woman releasing all around the world, that was in theaters. Like, it was in theaters around the world. Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't. It had to be on all these other streaming services, and we were seeing stuff like about Brazil. It was like 140% more than Wonder Woman 84 rental, and I guess Russia, they were over there. It was dominating over there too. I mean, when the actual full on numbers come out, it's going to blow Wonder Woman 84 out of the fucking water.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Completely.
Sorry, Patty. Sorry.
I mean, when you compare the two movies, I mean, it doesn't compare.
At least you used the real child.
Yeah, I used a real child, and I did it on carpet.
God, I mean, the scene itself is not even bad. Her running's weird, yes.
Yeah.
It's but then it's fine, and then all of a sudden when that part shows up,
Yeah, dude.
I know you're almost willing to look past some of the flaws.
Yeah.
Like, okay, no, this is good, and then that scene hits. I remember watching it. I was like, no, this is a cool scene. I like it. And all of a sudden, it was like,
me and my wife immediately.
God,
my wife.
Those children have serious head injuries. Something.
Yeah, instead they're just like, okay, can we go now? Yeah,
We were in the movie. We went and saw the theaters on Christmas, and we literally both looked at each other and we were like, "Those arms look super fake, like mannequin arms." Both of us said the same shit, and that's
mannequin arms.
Immediately clipped it. I was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta. This is ridiculous.
So bad.
It's really bad. No, it's really bad, and that actually made it in the movie, but it's a little different though. I think.
Yeah, it is pretty much the same. But I mean, it was funny because I remember when you put my thumbnail together and I had obviously fucked up face Superman, and then smiling Batman, and then I put her like in there too. People are like, well, wait a minute, isn't that a part of it? I'm like, yeah, but there's like the way it was screenshot, she looks like she's frightened. That's what I was going for. That we're gonna be watching this frightening movie. But that made it in there. I mean, hey, you don't have to like it either, too. If that still doesn't sit right with you, it's fine. Just because it is Snyder's. I don't know how. I love how people like go, "Oh my God, it is different." How is it different?
How is it different?
I don't even know. She says it pretty much the same way. It's a different color palette, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, there could have been, I'm sure they didn't take one. It was more than one take.
Maybe.
But we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, and Anthony, I think that says it best right there. And Justice League is Kal-El, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And so then another thing that I want to take a look at was the news of the day, which is a couple of things that happened today. Actually, there was more than a couple of things. It was like 3 or 4 things that happened. But we'll start with the news of the Flash announcement that was put out there. So let's take a look at that. So here it is. Ron Livingston is replacing Billy Crudup, whatever, as Barry Allen's dad in The Flash.
Yep. Hey, I don't hate it. I like.
I'm a fan of Livingston. I am. I mean, he's in Office Space. He was great, and what's it called? Band of Brothers. He was good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember like other things he was in. He's been in a lot of things. He's been in a lot of things, but I can't remember. Yeah,
I don't think he hasn't. He hasn't been in anything recently, has he?
I think he probably has, but I don't know. Like
he was in Sex and the City. I don't know why I know that, but still, I mean, I understand that they couldn't keep him in the movie because of scheduling conflicts.
Yeah,
for Billy, I don't know what he's working on right now, but it's like, hey man, you got to drop that. And the Snyderverse needs you. But what did you think about this casting of Ron Livingston?
like I said, I think it works. I mean, I don't know how crucial. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be. If they're going to dive into the backstory, obviously, we're going to see a lot more than him just behind the glass. But I mean, it was funny too because even recently I went, "What if they got Paul Rudd?" But of course, Paul Rudd's Ant-Man in the other world.
Oh yeah,
but I was like, man, he would have been a good Henry Allen in the conversation back and forth.
There we go, Flash in the City.
Flash in the City. There you go.
I mean, look, I will say that at least they got this is an actor that I do like and I do respect. So I thought, okay, you know what? At least they got somebody good.
Yeah.
It could have went south real quick, but it is what it is. And Andrew, I don't know about Michael Keaton. This whole thing about him not. I think that a lot of that was just kind of hot garbage. Just saying, hey, let's just see if it sticks. I mean, there was no real facts behind that. It was more just like, oh yeah, he made this comment.
It was from his
it was from his quotes.
But I don't know. We'll see. I think there's already a lot of controversy surrounding this damn movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Who knows what's going on with all that? And then we haven't even heard anything from Affleck talking about it. There has been no quote from Affleck, which is interesting.
Yeah,
nothing. We just know that he's supposed to be in it, but I don't know. It's all very odd. And I hope Keaton shows up because I was excited for that. Because what I heard was that if he got this gig, it wasn't just going to be like a one-off. Mm-hmm. It was going to be, hey, maybe this is going to lead into like a Batman Beyond situation. So
yeah,
which would be fine.
But who knows if that's even on the table? If that's something that he even wants to do?
I think it is. From what I gathered, That's
and it's what I heard it is, but I mean they haven't confirmed it yet, like publicly. But I mean, still, I hope they do make a Batman Beyond with Keaton involved with it. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But then there was more. Okay, then you got this one. So I don't know how to say her name. Sarah Rose, Monica Jackson, and Rudy Mancuso have been cast in Eddie Muschietti's The Flash. Now, the article doesn't actually tell you who they are, but okay. So, who do you think these two could be? It could. This is not going to be a female Reverse Flash, is it? That was the first thing I thought when I saw it. I was like, dude, no, please tell me they're not going to do that. Please tell me they're not going to do that.
You got to find Star. Yeah. I know. There's. I don't know. Like, I mean, he looks like he could. He's got a good jawline and chin, so maybe he's Thawne. I was kind of thinking that, but I haven't really delved into who
the whole thing.
Yeah. So that's all part of the same article, right?
Yeah, our good friends at Variety. Yeah,
I don't know. It's like, but maybe he's like a Captain Cold. I don't know.
It could be.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, this article itself, it doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
It just tells you that, and then it says, "Oh, you last saw him on this," and then that's about it.
Yeah.
But at least we have some idea on who's now. This is the same guy that we saw in the hammock in that picture that they posted like a month ago, right?
Is it?
Yeah, the Rudy Mancuso. Remember, he was laying in a hammock, and it was like Reverse Flash, or it was something. Everyone's like, "Oh, is that gonna be Reverse Flash?" And now it's showing him being officially cast in the movie. So we'll see. I don't know. I really hope they don't change the gender and they go a female Reverse Flash. But at this point, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything's possible at this point.
Well, there's also, they could be race bending. I thought there was like a rumor that Mirror Man, they were going to reverse gender. They were gonna with that character. Then again, maybe it's him that's playing Mirror Man. I don't know. Mirror Master. Sorry, not Mirror Man. Mirror Master. Sorry.
Mirror Master, yeah. And then here was the other big one for Black Adam. Pierce Brosnan is going to play Dr. Fate opposite Dwayne Johnson in Black Adam. I think this is a cool casting. I'm really happy with this one.
Yeah, this is great right here. Everybody's buzzing about this already.
Yeah, no, this is great. Here, I'll put you in the middle there. That way only he gets covered up. There you go. We got Zeverfet in the chat as well. But no, I think this is really cool knowing that Pierce Brosnan, an established actor, is going to play Dr. Fate.
Yeah. No,
he's going to have the helmet on the entire time. So
yeah, there'll be times where he doesn't. Maybe, I don't know.
It'll be like the Mandalorian where he takes off his helmet to do a face scan.
Why not? No, I don't know. I don't know what kind of direction they're going to be taking with the character, but you seem like maybe it will just be, you'll just hear his voice and you just know it's his voice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be that too. Yeah.
It could be. Now, the other thing that has been,
how old is Brosnan?
I don't know. I should probably add him to the age game, though. You should do a search, Anthony.
Yeah.
You have the internet right at your fingertips right now.
Yeah.
So I think that was a cool casting. We already know we have Pierce Brosnan playing Dr. Fate. You have the other guy playing Hawkman. What was his name?
I always forget what his name is.
Everyone in the chat, if you know it, go ahead and put it in there. But anyway, the cast is really rounding out. It's rounding out. And Ryan, he's all Pierce is 34. Yeah, he's 67. Thank you, Jose. So that's pretty cool.
What's his name? Aldridge something?
Aldridge? Yeah, Aldridge Hodge.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then
Hodge. I don't want to say Adonis. Yeah, sorry.
So the other crazy thing that happened the other day was during the charity stream on Twitch for Man v Game. I want to say it was Joe Manganiello was on there with Zack Snyder, and he made some comments about the Batman movie.
Yeah.
I looked around for these videos, but I couldn't find it. But I remember what he said. He basically said that he'd be under the understanding that Batman killed his son. And so he wants to get back at Batman. Mm-hmm. And that's why at the end, when he tells him, here's something that will help. His name is Bruce Wayne. And that would set it up to where now he's going to go after Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. And pretty much ruin his life.
Yeah. I really hope that does happen, which I God hope that happens. I hope that Alfred doesn't bite the dust. I've heard rumors that he could die in that. I really hope he doesn't.
Well, it's either going to be him or Gordon. I mean, come on. One of the two are going to see the end of his fucking sword.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, there's no way that that doesn't happen.
Well, so that is a huge speculation that I want to see this movie so bad, or the series, whatever it's going to be.
You heard what else he said too, that there was going to be like an ending battle and Batgirl was going to show up.
And here it is right here, actually. So let's go ahead and hold on.
Might be a different one. I think he said that in a different one. He said
it's a different one.
There's one that an interview for comicbook.com and
hold on, let me see. I didn't share audio. Yeah. That's always the killer. That's always the killer right there. So here's the first one. Let's take a look at this one.
Well, it seems like the fans are going wild, and I think a lot of people want to see more of that universe. Now, I don't know whether or not that will happen.
I mean, look at that picture in the background. Holy shit! It's like I keep staring at that, not him. I'm like, damn, that's badass. All right, here we go. How do I play this damn thing? Here. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen.
Or even can happen, but it seems like people are pretty pleased, and it's it's an event. It's a 4-hour superhero movie with the most famous superheroes of all time, and it's really unprecedented how it came about in terms of this one of the most expensive movies of all time. Then he basically swaps directors upon completion and goes into an incredible.
Am I gonna get hit for that? I don't know.
Shoots, and then the fans are so distraught that they then basically try to get the studio's attention, and then we go into COVID, and I think the opportunity of the pandemic then offered a lack of programming or willingness to then put a ton of money behind and bring Zack back to restore his vision for a streaming network. So what you've got is, I think maybe by inflation, we're a more expensive film than Cleopatra. So you're watching like the biggest film of all time.
Oh my gosh! Yeah! Wow.
Yeah.
And is there? I think that they're
oh my god! Yeah, wow. I mean, it's like, I don't know what we're talking about. Yeah,
I feel like for years,
like I wasn't listening.
Teased, there's going to be, Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke. Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke.
Can you picture this guy being excited for Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke?
That's the thing. It's like when they have to do this stuff, because they have to talk about it because it's the hottest thing right now. But it's just you just cringe. Like she said, oh my god, yeah, wow. What?
Oh yeah, wow. This guy staying up at night, tweeting and being on the internet saying, "Man, I really want to see Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke. I want to see the Snyder cut."
Yeah.
Now, Dave, I heard a rumor that this was your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
It looks like Scorsese, to be honest.
Kinda, yeah.
That's what you need, Dave. Is a big ass headset and a mic like that.
Then he cut my eyebrows like him. Shit.
All right. Here we go.
Of course, very little of that. Do you think that there is a future for you as Deathstroke? Is that going to be figured out?
It's not up to me, but I have made it clear that that I would do it again, and I think everyone knows, because I've talked about it, that there was an origin film in the works, and there was a treatment that I worked on with the studio for about 6 months.
That's crazy.
For a Deathstroke origin, and so all of that story's there, ready to go.
6 months.
Yeah.
6 months.
And they don't give a shit. They don't give a crap. They're just like, oh well, sorry.
So that, I mean, and then he makes you wonder: are we going to see when Batman kills? I mean, I'm assuming he means Jericho, right? The character.
Jericho.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see all of that, and we're going to see maybe that he gets. I don't know. That intrigues me. Intrigues me too much. But
there. He's like, God damn it.
Yeah. It's such a no-brainer, because I think he even said in another interview it would cost like $40 million.
Yeah,
it wouldn't even be that. Like, it would be so grounded, and
you
wouldn't have to. There wouldn't be like crazy special effects. It would just be crazy choreography and action.
So I have one more interview after this. Oh, a clip that is. Let's finish this one, and then we'll play that one as well.
Would I do it again? Yeah, I've made it clear that I would.
Yeah, he wants to do the job. He wants to do the role.
Up to the studio, and if that's a priority for them, then yeah, absolutely, I would do it.
Yeah, that's right. And then
Who wouldn't want to do that shit?
exactly, I would do it, even though I wouldn't do a very good job. But
He's
still,
met someone.
so here's another one. This is from Comic Book Nation.
Yeah, this is where he talks about Batgirl.
You know, Anthony, we got to get this guy on the Four Nerds. You got to get this guy on the vodka stream.
Who?
Joe
No, Joe Manganiello.
I tried. How do you think I got him on that? We got him on the like all of a sudden, he turned me down, but then all of a sudden his people hit my guy up and go, "Hey, Joe Meng wants to show up on here," and I was like, "Well, shit, why do you want to?" Yeah,
you're like, "Hey, did you know about me? I've been trying to hit him up for thanks."
No, I tried. I got turned down.
Oh man, this guy would be perfect for the vodka stream. I'm telling you, he'd be perfect. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see what he has to say.
He doesn't drink, apparently.
Here we go. Okay, and now my internet wants to trip out. Hold on. Let me refresh. I paused it and it tripped out. There we go.
Like a big, huge showdown, I think, between it was like Batgirl. Batgirl jumps in.
Batgirl? Like what? When did that ever?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Because
look at that leopard shirt.
So fast that he can anticipate Bruce's movements, and there was this huge fight in Gotham City where Batman is
in the streets,
completely afraid because he realizes he's met someone who can take him, and then that leads to this big climactic battle through the streets of Gotham City at the end. But it was like a real like psychological thriller with Deathstroke.
Let me fucking get
like
that
that.
shit right now.
It was like a horror movie villain, like a shark, kind of like. And there was like a big, huge showdown, I think, between it was like Batgirl. Batgirl jumps in to try to help Bruce because Deathstroke is so fast that.
Wait, watch it again? Oh, they replayed it. I was like, wait a minute, what?
I wanted to hear him say it again because
he was so good.
Talking.
Yeah. Let's say it one more time.
There was this huge fight in Gotham City where Batman is like, completely afraid because he realizes he's met someone who can take him. And leads to this big climactic.
Well, we got to remember too, like Batgirl was supposed to be part of like the sequels of Justice League as well. She was going to be brought in to be Commissioner Barbara Gordon, like it was eventually going to get
what?
No, I like the way he's like, just like, because Slade is so fast. He's just
he's so fast. Like, damn. But see, here's my concern though, is that he's giving away a lot of the plot to this story. Does that mean at this point?
That's what Zack's been doing though.
It's true, and that's what Ryan Reynolds did with Deadpool. I mean, he leaked out the whole the trailer or whatever.
I think it's perfect because it's making Warner Brothers look like idiots. Okay, this is a strategy, to be honest. That's what Zack's been doing 100%. Is he's just going, hey, they didn't want to do this. Check out what I had.
The storyboards.
Yes,
the storyboards.
The storyboards, and then talking about sequel points. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's making Warner Brothers look like idiots, and it's not the end. There's going to be more stuff that's going to be coming out, and it's going to make them even look. Oh, they're going to make them look like fucking assholes. I mean, they already look like that, but it's just going to be. It's going to be funny.
Going to be more looking forward. I mean, that's just like that's one of the things about Zack Snyder Justice League is seeing some of that stuff live action that he's been teasing you with for like 2 years on Vero. All the stuff he dropped, the Martian Manhunter, Martha leaving her apartment and all of that shit. But just to actually see it, so like whatever, just what Joe just now dropped in that interview. When we see that, if it happens and we actually see it, it's going to be like, yo, I knew this was coming, but then it's not going to bother me at all as far as what my response is going to be to it. Because you could tell me the whole entire screenplay word for word, and I'm still going to be sitting there watching that shit like I was watching Justice League the first time I watched it last week.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I knew how it was going to, I freaking knew how it was going to end. And I was like, it didn't bother me that I was like, that was that's how he flies off and if you look in the background you see Wayne Manor, it's being reconstructed if you look closely. Cool.
It was, I mean, actually going back to the movie, to Zack Snyder Justice League, the intro or how Superman jumps back into the fight, how he just lands and it, that was a million times better.
And then a big fan of Justice. Dude. No, I mean, and that's what's funny when you watch that, and people that were kind of not really on board with Snyder Superman absolutely loved all the Superman scenes because they were going, "Oh wait,
okay, here we go. Here we go.
Getting to this point, we were getting to this point." So
Just Facts has been the neighborhood troll of the.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, I'm not sure who that really is, but we'll see. But yeah, no, that scene was dramatically better. And I like how he still used his cold breath, but then they
nonchalantly
but they use that same idea. And they're like, okay, so what we'll do is we'll have him do it later on, and he'll freeze his axe, and then Diana will break it with her sword. And several will just stare as broken axe.
And he's gonna like do this. Dude, it's so bad.
It's so bad. I mean,
I with that shit. Dude. Oh man,
it's so bad. Like, why? Look at that. Like, what's going on there?
God,
the parody, the background looks like shit. Yeah. It's just really bad.
It looks so weird, man. The suit looks weird, like a.
It didn't look like it didn't fit him right. It's just I don't know. I mean, obviously it was smaller, but man, but the Black Viper so good.
In the American way, yeah. Yeah, it's all just the whole thing is trash.
Yeah. So I'm glad we're able to
so let's see, and then real quick as we kind of round this out, here's some cool tweets that happened I think yesterday and today as well that I want to share with everybody. So let's go ahead and take a look at those real quick. Okay, so here is from SynCopy. This is Christopher Nolan's company. And look, Justice League, hashtag Snyder Cut. And this was such a great shot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. That was fucking
I yelled out when this happened. I'm like, he did the hero shot. Yeah. He did it in a perfect Zack Snyder way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So but yeah, I had that. And poor Batman, you could barely see his head. But it's all about the Batmobile.
Yeah, he's like, I got this.
Yeah.
And even Batman in this scene he didn't look like he had a shoddy plan thrown together. I mean,
yeah. In Justice, it was like he was gonna commit suicide or something.
Yeah, they're like,
so funny how like they made him so like he's suicidal, like he's just going to die. And in this movie, he wasn't like how he was in the last movie. He was full of like hope and enthusiasm. He was the Batman that Warner Brothers eventually wanted too. That's what's so funny about it. Is like everybody hated how Batman and Superman were portrayed because it was a political style thriller where Batman was off his shit. Superman was going, why does like half the world like hate me and shit like that. So and then it got to the point where when they got to this, it was, hey, here's where we were getting to, guys. You could have just been a little patient. You didn't need like spoon fed to you right at the beginning. And it's just funny how people had flipped though. They were like, "Oh, I was wrong. This is so much." People are going back to watch Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman now, and they're actually going, "I get it now."
The sheer amount of checks that I've been seeing give this movie mad love is ridiculous. Like it's crazy, man. It's so crazy. Every time you refresh Twitter, like there's another like person with a gazillion followers, and they're just like, "Yo, Zack Snyder's Superman is fire," and it's just and we want more. So.
That's the big thing too. It's like the fact that people are saying we want what? There's no sequel.
Yeah.
And see, that's what Sarnoff. Sarnoff made the mistake. What she could have did, which is when she was asked about that, not mention like, oh wow,
don't see anything. Don't see anything.
Yeah, just be like, hey, we're gonna watch the numbers, and also we got we're expanding the universe. We have the Flash movie that's coming out that was established by Zack Snyder. Could have just mentioned something like that, but she just was nope. That's it. No air cut. No nothing.
And we sent that bitch some fruit baskets.
Man.
Oh man, it's just crazy. But this right here, like when I saw this shot, I thought, okay, I was just like, where and when did you say, no, we're not doing this anymore? Scale it back.
Yeah.
I mean, even if look, everyone's like, oh, it's 4 hours. Okay, so if you were to cut it down to say, let's say 3.5 hours.
Well,
it still would be a better movie.
Yeah, but even like we got to remember too that maybe this shot wasn't finished VFX wise. So there's always a possibility of like any of these really cool shots that we see that they weren't finished. There could have been like nothing previs, and they were like, we're not going to finish it, even though that probably was a cool. We're not going to finish it. We're gonna keep on cutting things
which
down.
is odd.
Yeah.
Once you say it like that, that's odd. That because Joss Whedon likes to do that kind of stuff, though. You know what I mean? Like he's had in both Avengers movies.
He had those hero shots.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, even in Age of Ultron, they had a similar shot where everybody's like leaping forward. At the beginning.
Is this really Ray Porter? I wonder if it is.
Could be.
Yeah.
He
showed up in your stream, right?
Yeah, he showed up my stream the night of the virtual premiere.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It probably is. It probably is.
What's going on? Ray? If it is Ray, what's going on, Ray? And we're gonna have him on the Four Nerds April 1st.
Nice.
April Fools. We're gonna have.
He's probably gonna show up like fucking.
Yeah, April Fools.
He's like, yeah, it's me. Yeah, it's me. Right on. Yeah, here we go. Jose's got it right. Ready the Armada, Ray.
Yeah, there you go.
But even that, I mean, even the scenes with Darkseid were just so good. But yeah, I mean, this is like a poster. I would love to have this right here behind me. I mean, it's just, it's so good. And so then, as we move on, so this came out, and Anthony actually retweeted this one. It says Bruce Wayne, Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, Ultimate Edition. Own it now in 4K.
And it went like quick.
Yeah.
It went real quick.
Yeah. Go scroll down and see. Didn't they put this out today? What's today?
This was today at 11:30 a.m. I mean, they don't know. I like that.
They
hey, we need Batfleck solo. Restore the Snyderverse. You knew that was coming. But this is really cool that they went and did this. I thought that was really awesome.
That is cool. I like that.
And then this was another thing too that was brought up the other day.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice this because I was
first time.
I was staring at the car the whole time, like, yeah, car seat's bad.
I was thinking,
cuts that guy off
fast as fuck.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, the fact that I love the double message. One, you're not alone. Is from Man of Steel, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I love how it's also a message for AFSP.
Yeah. And then even at the end when Cyborg says I'm not alone.
Yeah.
That too. So yeah. A lot of that. Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Fucking kind of.
You guys have terrible peripheral vision. I know. When I watch a movie, it's like tunnel vision. I'm just like, look at that mailbox. Look at that mailbox right there.
Yeah, this one I didn't spot Kilowog, but I spotted that.
Yeah,
I got that
because it was up. There's probably
exactly.
It was up. Yeah, it was.
Another thing I spotted too is Ben Affleck getting out of the fucking helicopter early again, and I'm like, hell. Nobody else noticed that. I was like,
if you go here this next time they go film in Justice League 2, it's gonna be like, he did that shit and like broke an ankle. Like what's that? Carrie Ann Moss when they were about to start filming the second two Matrix movies, she broke her leg. She broke her leg getting out of a helicopter. Like,
or like Tom Cruise when he jumped across that building and broke his ankle. Yeah, it was horrible too. I was like, "Oh God!" And then I think he still got up and tried to finish the scene too. Like,
you see him limp up a little bit, and then all of a sudden he's running full speed.
3 months later, But and since if Ray is still here watching, I just want to say Ray Porter, his performance in this movie was off the charts. Oh God, it was so good.
Yeah. When he first shows up in that, that I guess you could say that apocalyptic FaceTime, and then just like the voice that comes out of there. I mean, you got Guinness and you got Hines and recognizable voices, and but Ray just like his voice was just sorry for those two, but Ray stole the show. His voice kind of stole
the score that plays when Darkseid first appears. It's it's so good. Yeah. Well, you're welcome, Ray, because you kicked ass, and I hope we see more of you as well. We should see more of you. And you know what? Real quick, the fact that we might not get a continuation of the Snyderverse, I think, is the most.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense, and I'm sorry, but it's the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. In fact, it deserves this one right here.
Come on, don't bullshit me. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Because I mean, how could you not continue on with this? I mean, look, we've been talking about this thing for over an hour.
Yeah,
and we're still like, after this, I want to go inside and watch it. That's how good it is.
Yeah, the amount of people that are asking for it too. That's like, that alone, just that alone, the amount of people that want to see more. That's just in them not like scrambling to where's my checkbook at? Let's fucking get this shit started already. Like it's mind-boggling, man. I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah, it's just I don't get it. I don't get how they would not want to continue on with it.
It's funny too, like because essentially this is the movie that they wanted from Snyder. Because of all the reception from the first two, that they just were like, you got to change it, and he did, because we know that he said that as soon as the reception of Batman vs Superman, they rewrote the script again. Made it just a little lighter, but it still was going to have those deep elements,
those scary ideas.
I mean, still, I was pleasantly surprised at a lot of the humor. There's a lot of humor still in it, and it just wasn't like flat. It wasn't Barry being like a bumbling idiot. To the max, like in the Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Shit, man.
But even the jokes that he had in this movie, they weren't over. It wasn't. It was sprinkled in just nicely. You know what I mean? It was as if he was grilling up some steak and just putting a little bit of spice in there. And there we go, perfect. While in Justice League, it was just like one after another, and stupid line, and
talk about French, and he's gonna fall on her boobies and shit.
God,
fucking titty shots and shit.
Titty shots. Remember the ass shot? Like, it was like looking at her butt right away, and I was just like, dude, what the fuck?
I mean, I didn't mind, but
not like I was like, no,
fine.
I was like, damn.
Fine, but it was kind of like, okay, okay, why, all right, but
it's crazy, and the humor was actually the humor that came from the character of Ryan Choi, I thought was really good as well. And he did a really good job, because I've seen interviews of him before, and his English is very limited. So I thought, okay, so maybe his speaking lines will be very short or whatnot. He did really good.
I thought he was going to be in like a scene maybe, but he was all throughout.
Yeah, Ryan, I was offended. I was offended by the ass shot. I was like, oh no, I can't pause this.
Where are you?
Why is Dave canceled? Why?
because I appreciate a nice.
He likes to look at a nice pair of yeeks, man.
Andre was like, "Get that booty out of my movie." I'm like, "Get the booty out! I'm trying to see where Batman's at." No,
he's giggling and shit.
Barry had a crush on Diana. Yeah, no, I love that. I also loved how, which the scene was like so much better, was the scene where they had to dig up Superman's body or pull his casket out. That whole scene, the whole dialogue was a million times better.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I really couldn't believe how much better it was. And I loved how Barry even says, he was my hero, talking about Superman, and like it was that sort of layering that you didn't get in the previous version, and they didn't give a shit. WB was like, oh, it's fine. I mean, they had to have known at one point. They had to have known that when they watched this movie, they watched Justice League, and they said, oh boy, this fucking sucks. I mean, there's no way they watched it and was like, oh yeah, this is great.
I'm sure they did. I think they were just hoping, just because of the just because it was Justice League. They were just hoping for the best. They didn't care. They were like, let's just do that and move on. So
Dave the film hunky. And this was another good line as well. Faith, Alfred Faith. And I love the progression and the evolution of his character. And guys, real quick, I just want to wait. Hold on one second. No, but I liked the progression of his character. I liked how it went from, him being this kind of based on reason. He didn't have a path. He had gone off his path and he was hurting people now. And now he's here he is relying on faith. You see a total flip of his character. And real quick, you guys, let's invite one more guest onto the show. It is none other than the voice of Darkseid, Mr. Ray Porter. What's going on, Ray?
What's up, guys? How are you?
What's going on?
I'm sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to come by and say
at
hi.
All.
No problem, man.
I like you guys. I like what you're doing.
We kind of like it too. Nice shirt.
Yes, the shirt is.
I went to Foot Action.
Nice.
I gotta say, like I ordered it and it was, I was really excited. I got the email that it had arrived. And to get to the nearest one, where I live was a journey. So
yeah, I can imagine.
Am I too dark?
Area.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
No,
You're never too dark.
Well, it fits the character.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
No, I like what you guys are saying. I was just listening, and I didn't mean to like horn in on it, but thank you
Not
for
at
the
all.
invite. So
not at all. You can bust in whenever you want. It does not matter. But Ray, I just want to tell you that I thought you did a fantastic job, and the
you.
voice that you put together for the character, it was stunning, and it was frightening, and there's so many emotions that were attached to it that I remember just thinking. The first line that you spoke, I remember I got chills up my body. I was like, oh my gosh, there it is. There's the voice. I'm so happy right now. This is so awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of messages. The thing I'm going to probably take home with me, forever from this whole experience is the messages I've seen where people are like, I grew up reading these comics. I always imagined what the sound was, and I'm happy with what you did, and to get that approval because Darkseid has been living rent-free in people's heads for a very long time. And I'm really glad that I wasn't thinking about that when I was doing the role, because that's a lot of weight to carry.
Yeah, right.
So
really,
I know. I even had Jeremy Kirby, right? Didn't
that
he
was the thing I was going
Oh.
to talk about, Dave. My God, that screenshotted. I've got a Darkseid folder on my iPad where all the art that people are doing and all that stuff. I'm just keeping it all there. And I screenshotted that because I was like, I mean, that's the benediction. I mean, that was like, whoa,
that was awesome.
Huge.
That was very awesome.
Yeah.
So what a great experience. I mean, everybody has been really wonderful, and it's not for nothing. It's a damn good movie.
Yeah.
Damn good
Even
movie.
if I wasn't in it, it's a damn good movie. So I'm just proud to be a part of it.
And I remember way back when it was the first time that you appeared on Dave's show, and I remember because I was supposed to be on that show, and my Ascended Ancient couldn't make it, and so
where the hell were you, man?
We had to reschedule. So I was in the chat freaking out, but I remember that was one of the only times that you ever had. I'm sure you said it before, but I remember you were talking about how you're like, I remember filming the scene. We were in mocap suits, and Steppenwolf and Desaad and Darkseid were all talking to each other, and and I remember thinking, I was like, oh my god, I've never heard of this before. Like this is in the movie. This is amazing, and to finally see that scene fully done. I remember thinking, I was like, he spoke about this so long ago, and this was filmed even longer ago.
Well, there's 5 years between a couple of my lines.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, within the scene, there's like, I did some of that dialogue, and then Zack contacted me for some additional lines, which I did here.
Yeah.
When he was finishing things up. Hey, Joey.
Joey
and
is good.
And that's just a weird thing to think about. It's like, a 5-year pause in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah, it's man. Because I've heard you so many times talking, and I've actually talked with you once before. When I was actually watching it,
I keep coming on people's.
No, it's great though. No, but this is a good thing.
We love it.
What I was saying was that, like, when I was watching the movie, I can sort of hear your voice, and I was like. And so I started picturing you in the mocap suit, like, doing the lines. I was like, oh, God, this is so awesome. This is how he looks.
That was a crazy day. Well, that was the thing I loved the most when I saw it is Kieran sounds like Kieran and Peter sounds like Peter.
Yeah.
The sound engineers on this film, like the VFX people, are there. Thank you, Anthony. But I was going to say and Jesus, the VFX people and the sound people on this film they're the goats. They're the rock star. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Because it still sounds like us, and yet there's enough augmentation on it that it just transcends. It doesn't sound like, a voice that's been worked. And that's really delicate stuff, So I'm kind of in awe of all of that. And yeah, I mean, we all, we're all standing around in our very attractive suits.
I love it when you posted that image of the three of you.
Yes, in the golf cart.
Yeah.
There's another photo which I won't release of Kieran like trying to squeeze into his dressing room because they put something right next to the door, and Peter and I were just laughing and throwing shit at him from the golf cart on the way to our dressing rooms. They're really, really fun guys, really wonderful guys. And you're in a dark-ish room because they're just capturing our faces, and you're wearing this weird stuff, and there's a light in your eyes and 2 cameras on your face, and you're supposed to act. So
not easy
to have actors of that caliber
Yeah.
as Peter Guinness and Kieran Hines. I mean, in very short order, you just get down to the business of doing the scene. But my God, I got to work with them.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing in the world.
That's super cool.
So
I mean, and then here's that image that you were talking about. Let's see if I can bring it up.
Oh, you're going to be, yes.
There it
Okay,
is.
they look fantastic. I look as though I'm being treated for something.
Nah.
I don't know what the hell. And I promise you, out of the 3 or 4 selfies I took, that's the best looking I am.
You're like, that one will work.
It's horrific. Yeah. But
it's really cool to see all 3 of you together in the mocap suits getting ready to shoot your scene. I mean, or were you guys going to shoot the scene, or
no,
were you
that
back?
was at the end of the day. We had finished.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many days? How many days?
Yeah, how many days?
Do you know it's hard to quantify all of that because first of all, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the process was so spread out. I went to Los Angeles and shot some UXA stuff, mocap.
Mhm.
And then I did some voice stuff in London on a live feed to Burbank. And then went back to LA and shot some other stuff that wasn't mocap. It was just face stuff. And I don't know the term for it. I'm sorry. So it was really kind of a spread out process.
Interesting.
From goofballs to new gods. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Joey. Well put.
Yes.
Or Jack was the 3 Stooges
The
of the apocalypse. Of the apocalypse,
Mo, Curly, and Darkseid.
And Darkseid.
Yeah.
Ray, you were so good as Darkseid, I could slap you. Why not?
Well, okay.
Ray could slap Kevin.
If that's the way you want to,
given me a Gaelic spelling of that last name, let's have a couple of pints first. And then
It's actually a good question. What was your favorite Darkseid line?
I got really good lines in this.
You do.
Yeah,
They were really good. They were really good, and they were really menacing. And they were very like.
I'm paraphrasing it, but I have to say, one of the lines that I really love, just because the way that it came out and in the context of the scene, is in that first conversation with Steppenwolf, where I'm saying, "Oh, so you're telling me you found anti-life?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh man,
you know what I mean?
That whole scene just is chilling because it's like the parademons know. Start.
Yeah.
And as soon as he does, he steps back and his armor just goes like his armor gets frightened off.
That was I got hair standing up just thinking about that actually. And again, that's down to VFX. That's I mean, when I say things like, God, that scene was amazing, I ain't talking about me. I'm talking about everything around it. I remember early in acting class, back when I was in college, the teacher pulled a guy out of the class. We're all sitting in like a theater, and he brought this guy up on stage and sat him in a chair, and he went, "Be a king." And he let the guy just sit there and be like regal and pose for a while. And he turned to everybody and he said, "Do you believe he's a king?" And we were like, no. Then he pulled 4 or 5 people up on stage and went, "You do," to the guy in the chair, "don't do a damn thing. Do nothing." To the 4 people, he said, "Kneel." When they knelt, he was a king.
Yeah.
So when I saw the first time in the scene where the parademons start kneeling before, and then that music.
Oh, jeez.
Coming
that was so good.
Entrance I've ever had in anything ever. I was like, wow, I got to savor this.
Yeah.
And again, it's the terror or the force of that entrance isn't about, me being like, me, or whatever. It's everything around it. It's the music, it's the sound, it's how they are. And everything. And like Steppenwolf is just like, oh, my clothes fell off.
Yeah.
I mean,
My God.
Another good one too. I have turned. What was it?
100,000 worlds to dust. Yeah,
Dust. Yeah, it's so good. God, I don't know, and you just did it flawlessly too. I mean, I don't know how many takes you did, but it sounded like you only did once. Like bam, it was so good.
I don't remember. I did it. I did as as many until Zack went, okay.
Yeah. So actually, that was the question I wanted to ask you. I was going to ask you this later on, but was Zack there when you did all your lines?
No, not for some. No, certainly for the ones here, he basically emailed me instructions, and he wanted I set my iPhone up on a ledge so they could catch my face when I did the lines, and I did 3 or 4 passes and emailed that to him, and he listened to them, and a while later he emailed me back with some instructions. I did 3 or 4 more passes, and and there we were. For a lot of the physical stuff, I love that one too.
Yeah,
I got some fun things to say in this.
Yeah, and some really cool lines. I was like, man, they're just packing it on.
Yeah.
Love it.
I just get the feeling Darkseid's not big on small talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
You know,
you're straight to the point.
How was your weekend, Granny? I just,
It's not him.
well, it's a little hot today.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a lot harder
Can you
than
turn on the AC, please?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Get me a cold glass of water.
All of the lemonade.
Yeah.
So, I forget where we were. So Zack was there for some things. He was working on other things for a couple of other bits. It was all very sort of organic. And I've spoken about it before, but the difference. I've been on 1 or 2 sets in my life, and being on a Zack Snyder set is a completely different experience. I mean, the vibe is so high, and the energy is so good, and everybody is so positive. It's you're sad when you're done for the day.
Yeah.
Oh man,
you want more.
Yeah, I think that's what he tries to create on all his sets, because you never hear anything bad about. Like,
No.
oh yeah, he was a dick,
No.
or he was.
He was a dick.
There's like a tension. There's a lot of tension or something like that, and no, it's just
And this is
everybody always
why-
praises the man. Everybody
This
praises.
is why I have a bit of a hard time, and why I don't read reviews is because there's a hell of a lot of haters out there, and the little bits that I've read seem to be, it's like not really a review. It's more, the review is kind of just a container for hate.
Yeah, that's
Which
people have an
pisses me
agenda
off on a number of levels. One, as an artist, to disrespect that kind of an artist pisses me off. But that's also someone I consider a friend.
Yeah.
And I'm schoolyard enough to just be like, and I want to say many things beginning with the letter F.
Yeah.
So I just kind of ignore it.
That's what you got to do.
I think at some point the psychology of this entire experience is going to be analyzed by people, and somebody's going to make a PhD degree off of this.
Seriously, because I mean the response, the positive response that
the
movie is getting. I mean, I thought it was going to be pretty positive, but not like this. This is like this has been insane. Like every day. It's been out for almost, I mean, we're going to be on a week now where it's been out, and it just seems like there's something that's trended every day from it. There's been just another review comes out, another person saying, I was wrong. We tried to
it goes on and on. It's amazing. I had a nice long phone conversation with my cousin's son last night on the phone. What is that? Somebody help me out, like in the text. Is that like a second cousin twice removed with plaid?
Something like that, yeah.
Left and square 3, bishop,
what did we remove?
knight 4. What the hell is the term? Anyway, my cousin's son, who's active duty Navy Spec Ops, because he's such a DC guy, which I didn't know, he drove 18 hours to be with his family to watch when it aired on HBO Max the first time. He didn't want to wait, and that blew my mind. But the people who are like, oh, I'm on my 7th viewing and I'm seeing this, and it's
I've seen it 5 times now.
Yeah,
this is I mean, I saw it right when it aired. I mean, like everybody else, I was like, "Come on, HBO Max, it's getting late. Come on!"
I
You're talking
know.
about the first world premiere, yeah.
Yeah, well, Microsoft's like, let's go ahead and run an update,
Nice.
guys. Go ahead and
Well
run an
done.
update. Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, and what's funny
so
was that
frustrating. And to me, also seemed kind of perfect for the entire process.
I know,
Yes.
right? Like, of course,
Yeah.
something has to try and stop this.
And
you know, it's
exactly. It's like he's getting, and we move the goalposts again. So
it's like somebody was at Microsoft and they're unplugging cords. You know, like, hey, what are you doing? You know, it's just like, it was unbelievable.
Oh, there's so many
Like,
things I could say that would endanger my career.
Exactly right, but it's just,
so anyway,
it's
it was
just
very frustrating.
Yeah, very
you know.
frustrating.
But then I got to see it and was like, oh, and I bought a new TV for it.
Oh man,
Because Ray Fisher told me to. That's my excuse.
No,
Ray Fisher.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Though.
Yeah, that is.
And then I got to see it. Zach invited me to join some other people.
Right.
Jay Oliva was there as well.
Wow.
For the IMAX showing at IMAX World Headquarters. No popcorn, really comfortable seats. I mean, in IMAX, it was, astonishing. Mostly for the sound.
Yeah.
The sound in the IMAX theater was amazing. Visually, it wasn't that much more impressive than what I saw on the small screen. It was just bigger. You know what I mean?
Bigger.
The imagery and what Zack did with the aspect ratio and all of that other stuff is visually so rich. Like you were talking about earlier in the cast, where there's things that you didn't pick up before.
Yeah.
And you were focused on the mailbox and,
Yeah, the mailbox. That was it.
And you know what, Dave? I'll admit, I was focused on the car too.
I was like, look at that car. He cuts off the other car. I'm like, yeah.
I was just like, damn, I gotta have one of those.
Yeah.
Whatever, Ryan. I see you down there. Ryan from Zero Famix comments saying, Nickatina, educate him on plasma TVs and LCDs. And the reason why I brought it up last night is because I used to sell televisions when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
And so when it came to plasma TVs, which is now they don't even make them anymore, but people would always go to plasma TVs because plasma offered a richer but darker color tone.
Okay.
And certain people really liked that. They wanted that really dark, that really pure black color tones that the LCDs couldn't give you. And so what I was saying was that, because we were talking about how Zack's color grade it's a much darker tone, but it's a darker and richer tone. And so I'm saying, there is a market for that, and a lot of people still will go to that because they want a richer color tone. And to me, that's what Zack's movies are. They're a darker, deeper, richer color tone.
I would agree. The sort of the palette is like you said, very, very rich. And the television I bought, I mean, I'm not rolling in dough, so I got what was reasonably okay at Best Buy. But I also needed to do research because the only TV in my house is in my son's room because he plays Xbox sometimes, and so it had to also be good for games.
Yeah, right.
I don't watch TV. I'm on my iPad all day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I found it, and I thought it was visually fantastic. On the television, it was just amazing. And I kind of want to watch it now, like on the iPad screen and on the, I'd just be interested to see it in those different media, just to see,
Yeah, no, definitely.
It looks good.
I can't wait to see it in IMAX. I know that there was an IMAX screening here in San Francisco. That was at that Prizio sweepstakes. I did not win a ticket. Although a viewer of the show and a viewer of Dave's show too, JN, he actually got to go. Like somebody he knew won a ticket, and he was their +1.
I saw a tweet about that. Yeah,
he said it was
I'm
incredible.
interested to know if anybody watched it through like an Oculus.
That would be interesting.
Whoa, I didn't think about that.
Did anybody watch it through a VR headset?
I haven't seen anybody post about that.
I haven't either. I'd be curious about that.
Because I watched it on a 32-inch CRT TV. Well, at least it's just 4:3 ratios are already built into it. So in that sense, you're good. You're good.
Now
you're
I'm waiting
not
for
losing
the
any
comments to
picture.
come in. I watched it on a Polaroid. I saw it on a Sumerian tablet.
I watched it on my grandma's.
I watched it on a smart fridge.
On a smart fridge.
Exactly.
Yeah, smart
Did you see
fridge.
that thing where somebody programmed Doom onto a pregnancy test, and they were able to play Doom on the LCD screen of a pregnancy test. Let's
man.
watch it on a little LCD screen like that, like a kid's thermometer.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There you go.
You know.
I watched it on my smartwatch
Yeah.
Yeah.
for 4 hours.
For 4 hours.
Totally.
Yeah.
This is how you know Jack's really young when he says, "What's a CRT TV?"
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Jack's a youngster.
Well, that
I'll
was
tell you all that later,
was in the
Jack.
days, Jack, when televisions ran on Steam.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when televisions were heavy.
There was a little hamster that was running.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was
If
when
you got-
televisions were heavy. Oh my God, were
Oh,
they?
dude.
If you had a big screen, you're like, "Hey, you and you here. I need three of you.
Yeah.
Help me move this real quick."
This is the thing. Oh, these kids today. Meh. But moving day back in the day,
Yeah.
where you had books and records and big ass TVs that weighed, the size of a dense white dwarf sun.
And they were
I mean,
awkward because they were balanced all weird.
It's
Yeah.
horrific. Exactly.
It's horrific.
Like,
Now,
okay.
now you just tuck it underneath your,
Exactly.
all you gotta do now. Jeez.
What's up,
These
Koopy
kids
Malik?
today.
What's good?
Hello, Koopy Malik.
Look at Jack. He says, "I feel bad for you guys." No,
Thank
no.
you.
I mean,
Thank
hey,
you.
we didn't know
Well,
any
I
better.
mean,
Back then,
Jack,
it was
look-
like, "Yeah, this is it."
Jack, look at me. I'm 30. That should give you some idea of how heavy those TVs were.
Oh man.
I watched it through a mirror mirroring another mirror. It was off the smart fridge, but
That'sception. Yeah.
but Ray, let me ask you, because I was asking Dave all these questions, and I just want to ask you one of these questions. What was the biggest surprise from Zack Snyder Justice League? Like, what scene where you were just like, "Wow, I did not expect that, and I loved it"?
Okay, first of all, this has to be prefaced. I never watched the earlier thing.
Yeah.
Good.
That's
You know what
that's
I
a good
mean?
thing.
I
That's a
just
good thing.
didn't. And I had actually considered watching it before I saw this and decided against it.
Oh, dang
So, I mean, for me, the film was full of surprises. I mean, there were memories of, okay, like the cameo. We're going to get a little spoilery here for if anybody hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, here.
I will never watch it. Barcelona B. Never.
Yeah, ever. And
It
just
doesn't
because you said
exist.
that, I'll put this on the screen. Spoilers, guys. Here it comes. Get ready.
Spoilers. When I the day that I did my cameo, when I appear as me.
Oh yeah.
Great scene. Great scene, by the way.
I was very surprised by that, I have to say. I mean, I didn't even know that it was still in the film, but like the day before the release,
Rex.
Zack had said, "Yeah, I was just."
I think he said it on
you today.
the vodka stream.
Yeah, it was on the vodka stream.
He's
when Zack
also
came
got a
on.
cameo as himself.
Yeah, I was just looking at you. I was like, "Oh, that scene's still in."
You're like, "Cool, thanks."
Yeah. So, but on that day, I finished, and Zack's like, "Hey, come here," and we walk across this massive stage at Livingston Studios. And he goes, "Check this out," and he led me down into the temple. The Wonder Woman goes in with the torch. They had just finished building it. It was like,
wow.
Yeah, dude.
oh my God, it's just phenomenal. And so when that scene came up, it was like, oh God, I remember that day. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was my biggest surprise?
When you saw the finished product and you thought, "Wow."
I don't want to give some general answer, but really the whole thing was
Oh
just
yeah.
like, whoa.
That's what we all did. That's what I was doing the whole time. I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that happened to you?
So
Wow."
much to take in, so many things that just like, there were several points where I shouted out loud here late at night in my apartment. Right at the Armada meme is awesome. There were a few key moments in there where I was just like, yeah, forgetting I'm supposed to be cool because I'm like, I'm not,
You're
I was
like,
like,
wait,
not very dark
I was
side,
dark side. Never
Not
mind.
very dark side, Ray.
yeah. And I loved everybody's performances in it, and I thought that the way that, the way that the human story was being told and how it wasn't jokey, but it was very funny.
Yeah.
I thought the film, there are genuine laughs in this movie as opposed to,
Yes.
because they come from a real place. They come from a human place that we can all relate to. But you need all of that stuff so that when you get into the final battle, you're that much more invested in, and so that shot where it stills and, it's that you had posted it earlier when right before they go through the buildings, you got the Batmobile and you've got the whole league like mid-flight.
Yeah, that hero shot.
The hero shot.
Come on. After all of that buildup and everything, to see that moment, that great delivery, that wonderful resolution. Masterful.
It's so good. It's so good.
Come on, man.
Because you weren't even expecting it too. You're like, okay, here they go. And then all of a sudden it's just like this perfect little
just slows down.
It just slows down in that beautiful Zack Snyder way.
Yep. And just long enough for you to be like, and then we're right back into it.
Exactly.
Zack is a master.
Yeah,
and just this shot, just this picture alone is very arresting and it's very compelling. But when you've invested all of that story into each of the people that you see in this shot up to that point, this is a moment of triumph, of celebration for everybody, and it's so exciting and so compelling and cool.
I agree.
And then, so there were several surprises in the film. There were several things I just thought, oh my God, that's unbelievable. Obviously the shot of, Darkseid concluding business with Earth for now, and walking back was pretty amazing. There's just so many things in it that were just, and then of course, the next day, rewatching the film with Leslie Jones.
Yeah.
And howling with laughter.
Oh my Lord.
Oh, that was good. That was so good. We played a bunch of those on Monday. They were hilarious.
The whole thing about Desaad's scarf and just that whole thing just destroys me every time.
I think my favorite was when Superman, knocks down Cyborg and then throws him. Oh, he just showed us how to recycle cans.
How to recycle, exactly.
It's like I just started dying. I'm like, oh man.
Oh yeah, no, and I still will just occasionally if I need to feel good, I only need to hear room filled with evil motherfucker,
It could be a ringtone.
It should be a ringtone.
You're gonna need 17 Supermans.
That's right. Which would be, I'm fine with that.
Oh yeah. The way he came out in this film, with the black suit, it just it looked so good. I was so happy how it came out.
I just everything. Everybody had their moment where you're like, that is the hero that I want. That's what everybody. And so satisfying. Absolutely. Such a wonderful experience.
And just to even, every time we got to see the character of Darkseid, just seeing him on the screen, it just blew me away. I was like, wow, look, there he is.
I want contact lenses like that.
Ray, what's funny is that I'm telling you, and I'm being serious too. Every time I saw Darkseid on the screen, for one, I was ecstatic. I was like, yes, finally. But I always pictured you. I'm always like, there's Ray right there.
Well, it's loosely modeled on our face. I got to pull a serious face to get that level of cragginess. Probably shouldn't moisturize for several days. But, it was all modeled on obviously realistic facial expressions and faces and all of that. So that was the funniest thing, was looking at Desaad and seeing Peter's face. And my God, the VFX people, how do you take a creature like Steppenwolf and by the end of the movie, people adore him and feel sorry for him? This is masterful storytelling.
No, it really was. Dave, did you feel the same way? Do you actually feel for?
Yeah,
you feel for him.
Sympathy, because he's trying to get back on Darkseid's good graces, and it's he's got the unity, he's about to succeed, and then all of a sudden it's like, all these guys and these people in capes and shit are coming to fuck all that up. I was almost there, and then
he was almost there.
He's evil, but at the same time, you're like, damn.
Just that look of shock and hopelessness on his face when decided, like, you still owe him 50,000 worlds. Oh, yeah.
I know. And I was saying this the other day. I was like, if I was Steppenwolf, I would have been like, but this counts as one, right? Like, so exactly. Is this part of your tally? Look at those eyes. This poor guy.
Exactly.
Poor guy. He's like, what do I got to do?
And ideally, that's what you want in all of the best. Oh man, yeah, I got dirt on my
Oh.
hands. Hey,
how dare it? You know,
it in all of the best stories, ideally, you know, the villain, it should be a little bit blurry. I mean, obviously not with Darkseid. It's pretty clear he's got an agenda. But when you're talking about Steppenwolf, there's fallibility, there's flaws, there's things that yeah, poor Steppy, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Poor Steppy.
In a weird way, humanize him. You know, it's something that's relatable in spite of the fact that he's this utter badass destroying Amazons and their horses, you know, and then he calls home and is just
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's funny because you see him being this big, brutal, you know, monster on Themyscira, and then all of a sudden he gets on the phone on his as Dave
Lieber
said,
98. You just nailed it. Anybody with student debt understands that.
Yeah, exactly.
In there.
But I mean, he gets on the phone, or as Dave was saying, the Apocalypse and FaceTime, and all of a sudden he's just like, "Oh, please, I just want to come." You know, he's all of a sudden his character changes dramatically. You're like, "Wow, wait a minute! I thought this guy was like you would think he's the boss, you know, but no, I mean, we knew he wasn't, but still, like he was so." Oh, it just to see the change in character, it's like, wow, this is.
And again, it's this really complex, deep. You're like, wait, stop! I want to know more about that.
Yeah.
Can we spend more time knowing about this, the complexities of these relationships and this world? You know,
he got bullied in Justice League. Hey, what's going on, Abu Naz? He says, as much as I love the Amazons, they got their asses handed to them. Actually, you know what? I would say that in this version, in Zack's story, they put up a
hell of a fight.
I mean, they were a force to be reckoned with. I can't say the same for the Atlanteans, unfortunately, but I can say the Amazons, like, I mean, they brought it, and then they brought the whole Legion. He's like, "Oh, I'm out of here," you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's that thing in Atlantis where it's like, where is everybody? Oh, they're off fighting. Okay, this is bad. You know, there's
they're like, dude, the nukes. No one's watching these, you know. But, you know, if in fact, you know, which I hope we do, and in my heart, I know we will get a continuation of the Snyderverse based on Zack's storyboards that he had originally. And obviously the story has evolved from there. It looks like, you know, you're in store for a lot more action, Ray.
You know, Richard Citrone did all the really cool, pretty stuff. I'll tell you that.
He always does.
And, you know, but I'm absolutely down. I mean, you know, separating from the very real thing of like, I would like to do more of this, please, you know, as an actor and all of that, to live in that role, to explore it further, to say those words, man. Chris Terrio, come on.
Yes.
And to be a part of something that I am so absolutely proud of, and for it to continue would be marvelous. I don't know. I certainly don't have any inside information at all. I watch you guys. I do. I get on, you know, if I have some time in the afternoon or whatever, I'll get on YouTube and be like, okay, who says what about what? You know, I'm just curious. I would love for it to continue. I've also been shown a world that I didn't really know before, and I really like it. And the world of this fandom and the people in it, and oh, brave new world that has such people in it. Tempest.
Right. Well, just even imagine like going deeper into Darkseid's story and kind of getting why he is who he is.
Why he's like that, what? Yeah, exactly. What was the journey from Uxas to Darkseid? And I mean, we obviously know the stories, but to see it. And in the hands of Zack, I mean, yeah, of course I'd love to. You know, people. I've gotten a couple of questions. People are like, "Well, would you want to continue?" It's like, I don't know. Let me see if I've got a hole. In my
I know.
Let me check my calendar.
Yeah, gee, let me see if I can squeeze it in. Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah,
he's like, "Sorry, I don't have time for that."
Yeah, no.
That was a one-off.
It was a cul-de-sac.
No.
I know, and I really hope that we get to see the continuation of the story, because we all know. I mean, look, there was an article that was put out yesterday with such and such person behind it, and they said, this will complete Zack's trilogy. When did anyone ever say it was a trilogy? we know there's more story. There's more story, and it's evolved from what we saw in the storyboards. So, Ray, from the bottom of my heart, I truly want. I mean, everyone wants this. We all want the continuation of the Snyderverse.
That seems to be the way of things. People really do want more, which is, I mean, that's the best thing you can say about anything is if you're left wanting some more. You know, I hope. I have hope.
Yeah,
we all do. We'll just have to see.
And the last thing I want to touch on before we go, because we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, is that your place in the Snyder Cut movement, or your place in the Snyder Cut, the movement. Whoops, I spelled that wrong. In the Snyder Cut movement. Now, let's make that go away real quick. I think I always do it at least once. There we go. Now I play it. Now I got it. No, I don't. Okay, so there it is. I have it backwards. Whoever that the truth was, or whatever that one guy, it's just kind of amateur hour. You're placed in the Snyder Cut movement now. So, Ray, you have been so instrumental in all the appearances that you make, and you've been, and I mean this too. You've been such a gentleman and so professional about how you conduct yourself. I always wanted to tell you this too, is that thank you so much for being that professional and being that demonstrating professionalism wherever you go. And I think it speaks highly for not only the fandom, but for the movement as well. You've done everything right. You've done everything correctly in the right way. So it's an honor to have you on here.
It means a lot. I appreciate
and the same thing goes for Dave. I don't know if I want to call it professional, but Dave, you have really ascended in this fandom, and I don't care what anyone says. People can tell me I'm wrong or right, but I mean, how many times have you had Zack on your show? Too many times to count. Exactly, right?
Well, I mean, I guess you could count 5 technically, because when Debbie was on, he made a little cameo.
Yeah, he showed up as well.
Yeah. So,
I think I was talking about being a whore earlier, and make no mistake, I am. But
me too.
Yeah, but I think I keep turning up on this stuff and participating in this way because the community has shown me marvelous things at their best. The kindness and the way people kind of take care of each other, let alone what this fandom has done in the face of depression and suicide and feeling alone and all of that. Aside from that, which is enormous, just general day-to-day stuff, people really seem to take care of each other, and that's admirable. You want to be a part of a community like that. And I was welcomed in, and I'm endlessly grateful. So it's my privilege, and I'm very, very grateful to hear you say that.
Yeah, no, it's the absolute truth. I
Thank you, Anthony.
Oh, I think he meant ACS over here. Yeah, Anthony Belcher. Yeah, Ray Porter, you're the best. I was like, Anthony didn't say anything.
And thank you, ACS.
Yeah,
you're welcome, Ray.
Did you guys call each other with the baseball caps today, or
no?
Yeah, he just copied me.
I copied him. I put it on after he did because I actually had to go inside and get it at one point because it matches the shirt. Sure. This shirt. Yes. You're right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I may have seen that once or twice.
Yeah, once or twice. But I mean, like I said, Dave, you've really, the movement has really taken to you, and you've really kind of established yourself even more so now, and now it's become a thing. Film Junkee Live and also the Vodka Stream. I mean, the amount of viewers you're getting every week, it's just you're crushing it, man.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy how far it's come. And yeah, like I said, when it comes to Film Junkee Lives, it's fun, but I always look forward to the Vodka streams because it's always just like a nice hangout. I mean, when Ray came on, it was great when you were on. You stayed to the very end, and I was like,
because we were hanging out, and it's during COVID. You were my only adult conversation that day.
Exactly.
Adult conversation. You're like, hey, son, you want to talk about it? No, hold on, play the game.
Are you winning, son? Yeah. All of you, the channels that I've seen and the channels that I've been on, people who've been kind enough to bring me onto their shows. I'm not going to drop names because I'm afraid I'm going to leave.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Feelings, but there are a lot of really wonderful broadcasts that are afoot now because of this, and they've grown, and there seems to be a wonderful commonality. You guys too. I mean, I've watched your stuff as well. And it's great. It's really fun. It's really exciting, you know.
And all the fire you're seeing here from the chat, I said earlier, hey, let's drop some fire emojis for both Ray Porter and Dave Pena for being here on the show. You guys kick ass, man. Thank you so much for being here. This is so cool. Of course, man. Of course. It just keeps on going too. Ray is the greatest. He is the Lord. Wow.
Oh shit.
Whoa, here we go.
Well, that's no pressure, Ray.
Yeah, no pressure.
I
got part two. They're like, okay, Ray, read your lines. You're like, and I like, Ray, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
I am the Lord. Okay.
The Dark Lord.
The Dark Lord. There you go.
I'm the Dark Lord of my apartment.
Yes.
And guys, remember to smash that like button and also hit the subscribe plus the bell notification button so you're always notified of any new content the channel puts out. I'll be live again this Friday, and we're gonna have on Josh. He's the new host of Livecast Podcast. He'll be on the show talking about all the newest movie news and all that good stuff. Probably talking about more about Zack Snyder Justice League, of course, like we always do. So that's coming up on Friday. And Anthony, do you have anything that you want to say to Ray before we wrap things up here? Or Dave as well.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess I'll just see myself.
Thank you both for coming on. Ray, it's a pleasure to talk to you and to, always to listen to what you have to say, stories you tell about, your experience creating this awesome movie that I've watched like 7 times in the past week.
I can't get enough of it.
Yeah. Probably watch it again after this.
I got to tell you something, Anthony. I watched a lot of your reactions during the time when the trailers were coming out and stuff. It's just a great way to feel good. It'd be like to see. And my mother watches these now too, because again, it's the excitement and the joy that other people have to see people enjoying it like that is the best thing in the world. So really I've been watching you guys for a while.
Thank you.
Well, awesome. That means so much to me as well. I mean, man. We're also going to have Ray Porter on the 4 Nerd Show as well. That'll be April 1st. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right." Again, yeah. But no, it's always
If anybody starts getting tired of me, please let me know before I embarrass
myself. Never going to happen, though.
I don't think we're ever gets to that point where we're like, and here comes Ray Porter.
No, here's Ray again. Yeah, all of existence will be yours. Great. Okay, can we?
Hey, it'll get to the point where Ray's like, "Hey guys, you want me to do the voice?" Nah, it's all right.
No, it's cool, man. We're good.
We got it.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I've got a T-shirt. That's great, man. Really.
Yeah. I'll put up a new line. Can I read it to you guys?
No.
Let's do it backstage.
Tell you what, why don't you just email that to me? We'll I've got something to do right now. Can we? Yeah. I don't want to become that.
I'm like, make sure to plug my show while you're at it. Okay, cool. No, but honestly, thank you so much for stopping in, Ray.
My pleasure. Thanks for letting me barge in.
Oh, of course.
I was watching, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you. At first, I was like, "Is that really Ray Porter?" And then I remembered.
My stream. Yeah,
exactly. And I remember Ray was tweeting out. He's like, "Yeah, people were asking, is that really Ray Porter?" Yes, it is.
It really was me. Yeah, it was, I'm going to mispronounce the name. Please forgive me. Mattia?
Oh, Mattia, yeah.
Yeah, Mattia.
Yeah, she went hard, man. When I was on yours, she was like, "No, that's not. No." I'm like, "It is. It's me."
Yeah, really. And actually, it's a he.
I'm so sorry.
I wasn't going to say anything, but
terribly.
It's true though.
Sorry.
We're good.
Let me explain. I took Latin in high school. Anything with an A tends to be feminine. I just went there.
Exactly.
Deepest apologies.
It's okay. I think we all made the mistake because
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I have a patron who's also a viewer. His name is his screen name is Kinky Sphincter, and I thought it was a girl.
Kinky, man, yeah.
But no, Kinky's a guy. He's a guy. He lives in Texas. Hey. Yeah, exactly. Boom tube in anytime you want. Anytime. And JN, he's the one who actually got to see the movie in the IMAX. I'm so jealous, JN, because he lives in the Bay Area. That's kind of where I live too, in Northern California. So when I saw the contest, I was like, dude, I have to do it. And unfortunately, I did not win the ticket. But still.
He was asking about the jackets. I definitely want to get one. I'm not going to ask DC for one. They were nice enough to send me a couple of T-shirts, and thank you.
I get those things of T-shirts. Why not?
You know, I'll buy mine. So just waiting to get paid.
They just showed up with a note saying, "Oh, the Snyderverse will not continue." Just to let you know, like, what? Get out of here, God! Those guys, I don't know what they're thinking. And I really hope that we get some kind of announcement soon that this universe is going to continue because it deserves to continue. And if they think that we are just going to go quietly into the night, it's not going to happen, dude. It's not going to happen.
This fandom is known for achieving what it wants. And the thing that distinguishes it, I think, from other things is the positivity, the general positivity. I hope people, in the face of something that is disappointing to hear, I hope people maintain the positivity and keep the eyes on the prize rather than fighting or, saying nasty things or, excoriating someone for having an opinion that differs. There's no need for that.
Exactly.
If we keep it positive, great things can happen.
So. All right. And real quick, guys, Dave, where can they find you and all of your amazing content?
You can find me at the Film Junkee, of course, spelled how it is down there. And you can find me on Twitter as Davey Pena on there and see what I'm selling. I'm actually going to be going live in a little less than an hour. So, because
I'll be there.
No, I'm a big whore. Oh, yeah, I'm a big whore.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
Ray's going to crash the place.
Hey, Dave.
Oh,
Hey.
Thanks, Ray. Again. No, that'd be.
He's got a different shirt on.
Yeah, different shirt. Yeah.
He went and changed real quick. Hey, did you guys see this one? So I play that character. That's me. That's me.
Oh man! No, but yeah, you'll see. I'll be on in about an hour doing the Wednesday Film Junkee live, and it'll be a lot of fun right there. So yeah, there we go. We're gonna run for president.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're campaigning for, guys. I mean, come on, it's gonna happen. Anyways, yeah, that's it.
I mean, based on this, you guys would be winning the elections.
Yeah,
very nice. That looks positive.
Yeah, yes, Zack Snyder dominated,
and obviously you can find Ray on social media. He's probably the most cordial and open actor I've ever seen on social media who just responds and does everything the right way. And so
most appreciated. Thank you.
Of course. And Anthony, where can they find you?
All forms of social media at 2279 ACS and on Twitter at.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you.
It's an inside joke that we have with each other. we do it to each other all the time.
Yeah. I was waiting on it.
You were waiting. You saw me going for it too. Like, so say it again. I won't cut you off.
It's in the description below. No.
At 2279 ACS.
Yes.
There we go. All right, you guys, Dave and Ray, thank you so much for being here. This was so much fun. We'll definitely have to do this again. And guys, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back on Friday for the Nickatina show, and we'll have Josh from Lightcast podcast. And also, I'm working on getting Kristen Nickatina, who's works for The Insider. She's a critic as well, to get her take on the movie Zack Snyder's Justice League. Until then, you guys, I want to thank everyone who was here in the chat, everyone at home who's watching this as a recording. Thank you for being here. And until next time, you guys stay cool, and I'll see you guys Friday at 3:00 Pacific time. Later. That was the wrong one. There it is.